Buff Nation, what is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Happy Easter to all. And wanted to do a video this weekend on a guy that we got visiting here this next weekend on April 5th. And that is a 6'4 quarterback, 200 pounds out of Michigan. That is Beau Jackson. Beau, not Bo, not Bo, but Beau Jackson. So, hey, maybe he's following in greatness, right? But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to dive into his highlights in just a bit. So hold on, but y'all smash that like. Let me know who's watching in the comments and hit that subscribe as always. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Beau Jackson, 6'4, 200 pounds, quarterback, most recently played at Detroit Catholic Central High School, but transferred to West Bloomfield this semester. So his senior year, he's going to be where Brandon Davis Swain was. And really interesting quarterback, okay? Because when we dive into the highlights, you'll see he looks the part, no doubt. There are some question marks about him, which make me understand why he's unranked right now, but very interesting that Colorado has offered him. So again, you can see the different offers that we've had for a lot of different quarterbacks, blue chip guys, right? Hey, and then Beau Jackson here, West Bloomfield, 6'4, 200 pounds. Really interesting, right? Now we go to his page. Doesn't have a lot of offers yet. So we're kind of early to this one. Fair State, Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Miami, Ohio, and then Colorado. One of these does not look like the other, right? Could we see him take a big leap, going to a bigger program at West Bloomfield? I think they lost in the state semifinals or were state champions this past year. Doesn't really matter to me, but nonetheless, this is a really good high school program that he's going to be at for his senior year. And let's go ahead and roll the highlights, shall we? So you guys can kind of see. I mean, definitely looks the part, right? He sits back there with confidence. I think he's got a good arm. I think he's got good mechanics. And you'll see in some of these highlights, this is like a 4-minute highlight clip. He does run some under center. So you can see why possibly Pat Shermer is, has his eye on him as well. Doesn't just exclusively operate from the shotgun. And I think he throws a really nice ball. Again, look how he leads that receiver. He catches it right in stride for the touchdown. I think he's got a good arm. I think maybe there are some things that he could do to like quicken his release or delivery or whatever, but that's just kind of splitting hairs on my end. I think that mechanically he looks very good for a high school quarterback and would definitely develop. I think another guy that we have on here like Walter Taylor, he has a much longer delivery than Beau Jackson, and you see that Walter Taylor's been able to clean that up a little bit from what I've seen now here at CU training. But I think again, throws with great zip on the ball. You see him throw to all parts of the field, puts good touch on the ball. Now you might wonder, okay, why is this guy unranked? If he's 6'4, 200 pounds, has a good arm, and he looks the part. He definitely looks the part. And y'all know that I'm fans of big quarterbacks. I mean, you got to be 6'2 and above, right? I'll make an exception for 6, okay? I'll make an exception for 6'1, but honestly, I like my quarterbacks big, all right? Now, when you go and look at his numbers this past year at Central Catholic, kind of makes you raise an eyebrow, okay? 11 games, 59 completions, huh? On 120 attempts. That's a 49% completion percentage. He threw for 752 yards and 5 touchdowns this past year. He also started for varsity his sophomore year, a couple years prior, where he had 77 completions on 146 attempts for 1,195 yards. So that was a 52.7 completion percentage, and he also had 12 touchdowns. Really, really interesting. Only turned the ball over a little bit. He had 2 interceptions last year, 4 his sophomore year. So total, he has thrown for 50.9 completion percentage, just a smidge under 2,000 passing yards, 17 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. So these are not any world beating numbers by any means. You have to wonder, okay, what is going on? Of course, this is a highlight tape, so we're able to see what he can bring if he's more consistent, right? You see the potential is there. I mean, look at the placement of that deep ball right there. That's really nice. But you saw even here his wide receivers dropping some passes that I think that you should be able to handle, right? But 50.9 completion percentage, 1,948 passing yards over 2 years. We'll see what he's able to do in a new program his senior year at West Bloomfield. Again, playing with what I imagine to be very, very good talent, some of the best in the state, and he could definitely take off and come out of nowhere a little bit. So this is a prospect that I think we should definitely keep our eyes on because he he might be a late bloomer in a sense, and that's totally fine. There again, don't forget Dennis Rodman didn't start playing basketball till after high school. Okay, guys, these are more so exceptions to the rule, but they can be done, and I think he looks the part. I think we should still go after, obviously, some of the top rated guys in this year's class, but it would not shock me if we also bring in somebody like Bo Jackson too. And that's something to keep an eye on. So I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Bo Jackson? What do you think about his film? I think he's got some nice athleticism. I don't think he has like world beating speed or anything like that, but when you're 6'4", 200 pounds, he could still put on a little bit more height and weight. And when you're that young, you can still get faster. So this is all pretty interesting stuff. And he's definitely going to be a player that I keep my eyes on a lot moving forward in this recruiting cycle for 25. And shout out to No Sco Zone. I wanted to show this as well. He wrote here, Colorado football recruiting. Quarterback Bo Jackson looks forward to his third visit to Boulder. This underrated QB currently isn't ranked and holds one Power 4 offer from Colorado. We covered that. To be honest, CU is ahead of the game, in part thanks to Bo's ties to Coach Prime's former teammate and rival, Andre Rison. Don't let the lack of offers or stars fool you. This is a quarterback on the rise and will benefit from building an early relationship. Totally agree. Very interesting. And they even have him listed at 210 pounds now. But here's what he said on his visit and contact with Colorado. Again, this should be his third unofficial visit. I think it's going to be unofficial. I really like the culture that Coach Prime is building over there. He has great offensive and defensive coordinators, and the reason why they set up college players greatly for the NFL by giving them tips and tricks to improve their game. Yes, there were a lot of stories and good memories Coach Rison and Coach Prime have from when they played each other, Jackson said. They pushed and motivated each other when they practiced on the same team and later when they faced each other. Coach Rison has given me a lot of tips and ways to improve my game. He is very big on connections. He plays a major part in my recruitment. It's beautiful. Per buffstampede.com. Shout out to Adam Munster Tiger. I absolutely love that. I'm guessing Coach Rison is his high school football coach. So really interesting. Something to keep your eyes on here. Going back to when Coach Prime first took over this program, he talked about how we're going to recruit unrated guys like they're 5 stars type of thing. We're not going to pay attention to stars. We're going to go after the guys that we feel are best for this program and treat them as such. Now, I think for the most part, the recruiting rankings somewhat get things right. You got an idea if somebody's got some really good potential, if they're rated as a blue chip compared to not. But as we see, there are plenty of 3-star guys that can, or unranked guys that can establish a great career for themselves in college. And it's been done before at the quarterback position as well. So something to keep your eyes on. I am very intrigued by this player. So again, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you see? I definitely see like a how do I say it? Like a stack of clay. This is a Davidism, like a Rickyism if you ever watch Trailer Park Boys. I'm getting it wrong. but just somebody that has the potential there that just needs to be molded. Shout out to Pat Shermer. And guys, this is a tangent. If Coach Prime didn't know what he was doing, you would not see guys like Pat Shermer stick around for this. Okay. And I think it really does say something that Pat Shermer has stuck here, that he wants to be here, that he signed a 2-year contract. And I would not be surprised if all goes really well this year, if you just see him ride this thing out a little bit longer with Coach Prime. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe on the way out. And as always, y'all, go Buffs.